A large portion of the federal education budget is funding for special needs programs. Being the parent of a special needs child, I know from experience how we had to fight to obtain services for our child, partly because the school districts are loath to give up the state funding that a warm body means to their bottom line. The school and we parents spent too much time and money on evaluations, attorneys, and IEPs over 3 years to finally convince the district that she needed prevention and intervention. Why not just do the prevention and intervention instead of agonizing over whether to do it or not for 3 years? Did you know that often schools make it so difficult to help our children reach their potential? Mr. Claus, would you start?
I think you're right about the prevention and intervention part of it. Students, particularly special needs students, are placed in an environment that should be supportive. It should be loving and not based on fear of what the student might do, or fear of what the student's limitations might be, or fear about not having enough resources to address the student's problems. I've seen some improvements through the years as far as special needs education goes, but I think there's quite a long way to go, and not as many parents participate to the degree that you've participated in the past as far as caring for and providing for their children's education and prompting the powers that be to do the right thing for their children. I think it's not so much a question of basic funding. I think it's a question of allocation of funding and making sure there are enough special needs trained teachers available and interested in teaching those children.
Okay, thank you. Don?
Yes, I actually, again, I'm in a unique position that I had 2 children that we adopted when they were infants. And when my daughter was 5 years old, she started school in Glendale, California. They said, "Oh, she's entirely too active. She's too bright. She upsets the whole classroom. She's got her hand up all the time, asking questions and all. She'll have to be put on Thorazine." So from age 5 until age 13, my daughter was on Thorazine, a horrible medication. But they wanted the children to be quiet, sit down, shut up, keep your mouth shut. We don't need any outbursts or anything. We don't need anybody asking questions. That's not the way to teach our children. They report that 75% of the children in the United States are on some kind of mood-altering medication ordered by the school. Their attention deficit disorder and whatever else they want to call it. They're trying to drug our children, and my daughter at age 51 now still suffers from the effects of that horrible medication.
Okay.
I
I beg to differ that the school is not authorized to put children on medication. As far as I know, the only way a child can be on medication is if the child attends a visit to a doctor, and that doctor gives them a prescription for medication. And usually under those circumstances, the parents are well aware of what's going on, and they have to approve of it each step of the way. So, before I let you rebut, let's have James talk for a minute about this issue of special needs children. That's where we were starting at. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Judy. Excuse me. It's been my experience personally from volunteering in schools, and I'm not an expert about this, but I feel that special needs children have to have almost their own school. I would say their own school. I know that special needs parents don't want to segregate or separate their children from the regular classrooms, but the attention that's required to work with special needs children requires special teachers and special environment. And we could fund it if we really wanted to. The problem has been for both sides is that when you take special needs people or kids that act out, the teachers take up all the time on the 1 child or 2 child or 3 child, and the rest of the class gets no attention. It doesn't do nobody any good. And I've always felt that we should fund special education and provide schooling for them in their own schools, and then reintroduce them when they're more capable of not being disruptive, but realizing that school is a fun environment.
Okay. I'm all for at least restrictive environment, but we're only going to be able to educate so much during this debate. I want people to know about least restrictive environment, maybe look it up, and also how children do finally get into the proper setting for a special needs child. But I want to get back to Don Cordell. You were mentioning medication. I want you to address or rebut what I said about how physicians are always called upon to prescribe medication. Go ahead.
It was very simple. The school said either she's on medication or she doesn't attend our schools.
Okay.
And of course, my wife buckled under to them. I wasn't brave enough to stand up and debate it at the time, which I should have done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in many cases, the mother is the one that really decides what's going to happen to the children. You know, the father goes off to work, and the father comes home at night. And mother's the one that gets the call from the school all the time. And I know about special needs children.
Okay.
For 15 years, I worked for the USC Medical School in the LA County Hospital, where I videotaped patient interviews, special needs children interviews, autistic children. I spent 15 years in the medical field that way of knowing the problems those children have to face.
Yes.
You know, I've personally seen the interviews of these children and the caseworker conferences and all. So I'm medically knowledgeable about the situation too.